In Tropico 6, there are so many reasons for your citizens to hate you. Seriously, though, one that wasn't readily transparent to me, at least, is the fact that regardless of how charismatic their Presidente is, citizens are always on the hunt for greener pastures. And specifically, what they do is they compare their happiness with an index of the general happiness of neighboring islands in the Caribbean. And we can see that by opening up the almanac and clicking the happiness tab, and then selecting the happiness screener. So any negative gap between these two values then becomes a direct deduction from a citizen's support for you. I mean, that's the TLDR version, or the too long didn't watch version, I guess. Anyway, if we take a look at a specific resident, which we will do right now, we'll go ahead and select the religious faction and take a look at our faction leader, because we can probably presume he doesn't like us that much, as we've made this an atheist state. But you'll notice an approval meter at the very bottom, and in a perfect world this would be completely clear to you. But as it stands just post-release, I think we can presume that the relative happiness reading is probably bugged, because it always reads 0 for every citizen. But regardless, what we can see is that as a baseline, citizens take their support level from some sort of weighted average of the support levels from their various affiliated factions, and they're usually affiliated with more than one, more than two, usually. But clearly that isn't the entire story, as we can see in the case of Antonio here. Otherwise he would like us, or at least be kind of in the middle on us. But looking at his overall happiness, we can guesstimate that it's probably sitting at around 35. Let's take a look at the Caribbean happiness again, and we see that it is at 52. So, I don't know, let's just call this a 15-point discrepancy to keep numbers simple. Relatively simple, anyway. So, if we go ahead and subtract 15 from 53, we would get 38, and that seems about right. It's good enough for government work, anyway. These thumbs, by the way, are probably around 15 and 85%. Moving on, so what can you do about that? Obviously, you can work harder to make your people happy, but alternatively, what you can do, starting in the World War era, is you can build the Commando Garrison, which, if you so choose, allows you to spend your raid points to intimidate your neighbors, if you've nothing better to do. So a negative 5% to average Caribbean happiness is a plus 5% to your citizen support level. So that's win-win, and it works like a charm. Anyway, I hope that helps somebody, and if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Thanks.